my goodness. Right, well, today's jacket, because I feel like since I've started this thing, I feel like I have had to wear a different jacket every time. I'm not sure why, but today's jacket, I feel like makes me look like I'm in Flashdance, maybe. Hi everyone, episode 4. I'm so excited about today's episode, not only because it's my first boy, but also because I haven't spoken to him for so long. I think he might be here already, actually. Oh, hi everyone. Hello from Ireland. Hi Ireland. Hi, get involved. Pull up a chair. I've got a little tiny glass of white wine because it's only Monday, and also we didn't have any wine glasses. They were all in the dishwasher. So let's see, if he's already here, we can just get him on and have a chat. Where are you, Tom? There he is. Very early, isn't he? It's very prompt. Waiting for Tom. So, there he is.
Howdy, howdy.
Oh my God, hold on, I need to turn you up. Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. Can you hear me?
How are we?
Oh
I can hear you.
God! Do you like my TV studio?
It's a marvellous studio. It's like Andy Peters in the broom cupboard or something.
I
Do you remember that?
I really want Andy Peters to come on my TV show because I feel
I know
like...
Andy. I know Andy very well.
Oh, can you just give a little word?
I'll give him a little nudge saying you wanted in someone else's broom cupboard for a change.
There you go. I could make this into a broom cupboard.
Yeah, you could. It's a very sophisticated little setup you got there.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Do you appreciate today's glamorous jacket?
I was just admiring jacket when you came on. Then I was like, okay, let's have a look at this jacket. It's very good. Yeah.
Basically, what I've done is I've decided that every single episode I need to wear a new jacket. So today's jacket is this one. This isn't actually my jacket. This is my friend Amy's jacket. I'm not cool enough to own a jacket like this, but I am rapidly running out of jackets. So
it's like what Noel Edmonds did with shirts on Deal or No Deal. He always had a new shirt, didn't he? Every day.
Yes, I feel a bit like Karamo in series 1 of Queer Eye. Yeah.
That's a good reference.
Cool, though.
That's a good reference.
So much. Thank you. Hi Tom. Welcome to
Hello,
Are
April.
You Michelle from Skins.
I'm delighted to be here. I'm not Michelle from Skins, although I've been mistaken for that many times.
So I asked you when I asked you to come on the show a couple of weeks ago, which character you were most associated with, or people came up to you and asked you, are you insert here?
Yes. Well,
and you said...
I said, which is weird because it's one of the smaller roles I've done, but I think it's because of the platform it was. It is most commonly, are you Dickon?
Nice.
Yes, I am the Dickon.
Nice.
And it also does depend on what's on at the time. And also the thing is with Umbrella Academy, I'm obviously in a very different body in that.
Yes.
So I'm not as
kind of in disguise.
Kind of in disguise. Just like,
okay.
Well, I just look like I've been, like emaciated in real life compared to the body I have in that thing.
Right. You've got to be like, oh gosh, is something wrong?
Are you all right?
Oh dear.
Are you eating?
Oh dear. So hold on, we need to just go back. We're jumping in a little bit too much. Let's catch everyone up. So I need to do a little introduction of you because for some of my followers and some of my the people that are on here may not know, I met Tom on a film called Tormented. A lot more people have seen that than I thought, actually.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot of people really like that. We both met very gory ends in that film.
We did.
Not to give too many spoilers, but yeah, it was not a good ending for either of us. Quite rightly, because we were both pretty horrible people. So
pricks.
That was good.
We were, yeah.
Unfortunately, Tom, that was 11 years ago.
No, I know. I realised this the other day because, well, I actually met my wife at the premiere of that movie in London, which
so is it? Have
bizarre.
you had your 10-year anniversary then?
We've had our 10-year that we've been together. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Wow,
And we've
that's
done our 5-year wedding anniversary now because we got married after 5 years.
and you've got two beautiful children who are now not babies anymore.
No, I know, it's scary. Two little cherubs. They're they rule the roost. You know, like through lockdown, it's been hilarious because it's been great because I never get to spend this much time at home and
Yeah,
this time with the family.
I
But
bet.
I got to the point me and Laura went to Laura's my wife. We went to um, the Soho farmhouse a couple of weeks ago, and honestly, it was like the best one night away I think I've ever had. So it was just like, ah,
Freedom!
no children.
I
What do
think
I
that
do
will
with my brain
probably
power?
that will definitely resonate with a lot of people. Don't you worry.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone has been in the same boat, literally. So
yeah.
yeah, it's been. I'm glad that you're all well and safe, and we're
Yes, we're
here.
all very good. And you're good?
Yeah, no, fine. I mean, just plodding along, doing
Yeah.
this. So what can you do?
I mean, why the hell not? I
Hold
mean,
on, you're interrupting my intro. I've got some nice
sorry,
things to
sorry.
say
Yes, go
about
on.
you. Okay.
Go on, please. Yeah,
Right.
you've
So
got your
okay.
script. Go
So since Tormented,
on.
Tom has been on what I perceive to be the perfect career trajectory. Doctor Who, Merlin, Black Sails, Game of Thrones. That's a few of them, and obviously now the Umbrella Academy, which is in series 2.
Yeah,
Next
season
week.
2 comes out on the 31st. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you believe that's next week?
No, I know. It comes around so quick because it's when they announced when it was going to be, I was like, oh, it's ages away.
Yeah,
And then
ages.
now it's like
Absolutely
next
ages.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. We've just covered the fact that you're a husband and a father, and you're quite a nice chap. And yeah, and I can't believe it's been 11 years since we worked together. So
Oh,
basically, where I kind of want to start, first of all, we talked about you being Dickon from Game of Thrones. For the people that have asked questions for me to put to you, it seems like it's Percival from Merlin.
yes, that is probably up there as well. Certainly for a long period of time, it was Percival from Merlin.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big part of my life. That was the kind of major job I did post Tormented, really.
Yeah.
And I suppose that was a big thing that kind of gave me the trajectory to the next step in my career. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for a long time, yeah, that's what everyone knew me as, if it was anything. Yeah.
I mean, my friend Liam's just written, if you've been Doctor Who, you've made it. So I feel like
Well, that is up there, with the amount of like people do say it's like, oh, it's Jeff from Doctor Who, and again, it's like I was in like a tiny little part in one
yeah.
episode. But the thing is with Doctor Who, is the fans are like intense, like they're kind of up there with Game of Thrones.
I was going to say, you've done and you've been in and are currently in shows that have a huge fan, like a whole fan world in a way.
Well, they're passionate, like
Right.
yeah.
I mean, in all of their own different ways.
Yeah, yeah. And what's hilarious is like you can sort of tell. Like I've done a few of these like Comic-Con events now, which I
Yeah.
love because you get to meet all the fans and stuff. It's brilliant. But as like people approach, you start to kind of see that's a Doctor Who fan.
Right.
That's
Nice.
this will be a couple of Merlin fans here. Like you can kind of see the demographics of each fan base. It's interesting. Like the more
But
you do them, you can kind of see.
That's amazing. That, I mean, see, this is why I say it's kind of, to me, you've lived what I sort of expected that my life would be. Once I was in this huge hit TV show, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to just be able to like nip from this cool show to that cool show, and and you've been. I'm saying a gift because I do think as an actor, any work is a gift, and I think you've been gifted some of the most amazing work in some high-profile shows. I wondered just what's that been like for you? Do you see it like that? Do you, like, I'm not saying I'm so jealous, but like, from an actor's perspective, I'm like, wow, that must be.
Yeah, I mean, I feel extremely privileged. I mean, sometimes I have to like, pinch myself that I've been as lucky as I have to do the jobs I've done, and yeah, I mean, I think you know, the thing is with this industry and this career, it's so uncertain, you know, and there's an element of me that every job I do, I suppose I subconsciously prepare myself that it might be the last one. You know, I think we
Yeah.
always do that as
Mm.
actors. But all I do now, like because I don't really watch what I do anymore. You know, I don't really. The only thing I think because I've watched the most recent season of Umbrella because Netflix sent it to us to do it for so we can talk about it in press. But
Yeah.
generally, out of choice, I don't tend to watch stuff I do because I really have started to just love the process of doing it and just being on set and appreciating it in the moment rather than thinking, oh, what's it going to look like when it comes out, or what's it going to, you know, what's my performance going to be like?
Mm.
Because really, the magic of the moment is doing it, it's acting in it, and just taking a step back when you're on these incredible sets. And like when I was doing Game of Thrones, you know, when we're out on that massive battlefield, and I'm watching a bunch of guys get set on fire because they wanted to break the record for the most amount of guys on fire in a single shot,
Obviously. Why
as
not?
they do. I think they broke a bunch of records on the final two seasons of that thing, but
I'm sure.
um, like otherwise you blink and you miss it, you know. And I'm a big believer in enjoying the journey. You know, if you don't enjoy the journey of life and what each day is offering you, then
Mm.
you're missing the whole point of life, right? Because if you're always
Yeah.
looking for something in the future, then what's the point? So, and kids have taught me that, you know, because kids live so much in the moment that I
Yeah.
think if you do that, then you really appreciate it even more. So, yeah, I mean, back to the original question, yeah, I mean, I massively appreciate what I've been able to do and consider myself very fortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I mean, at what point did you? Because I was talking to Louisa last week, Louisa Litton, who was in EastEnders, and then she went back, and she had a really interesting perspective, which for me I've been struggling like constantly, like nothing's as good as Skins, it's never is going to be, you know, and she was like, but it's always your first one. Your first one is never going to be, you know, it's never going to be topped because it was your first one.
Yeah.
Whereas for you, I feel like there is this kind of upward trajectory, and that every single thing that you do has that bigger platform, or you know, is a bigger success. Have you ever thought in each one, well, I've made it, this is
Oof.
it?
Not in that sense, because I mean, yeah, I mean, I think I certainly have thought this is a great step. Like this is kind of like where I want to be. This is the journey I want to be on. Um, but I think yeah, you do. There are times that you do go. You know, I feel like because like you said, like I think about Tormented because Tormented was one of my first jobs. You know,
Yeah.
and I look back at that and think, what an amazing time! Like we had the best time. It was literally like being back at school, wasn't it?
It was crazy. We
And
lived in we lived in uni halls in
we
Birmingham.
lived in, yeah, university halls, yeah. So it really was like being in college and just going to work every day and hanging out on set and goofing around. We had the best time. So in a way, like I always tried to replicate that feeling on set because it kind of set the tone for what I considered on set banter and fun should be like. I felt
Yeah.
like a set should feel like that. Um, apart from some inappropriate jokes by certain cast members. But we won't talk about that. But generally, the environment was so much fun. And
Yeah.
but when you say like, you know, if it's, I don't know if one will ever top that. What it is for me is like every job has offered me something different. So it's
Hmm.
never always been like, oh, this one's better, oh, this one's even better than this. It's more like they all give me positivity. From every job I do, I feel like I gain something. But
Mm.
more than anything, experience is a huge thing. Like just the experience of being on set with more experienced actors and things like that. I've always had this thing of wanting to learn, even from Tormented, like from when you guys had done a lot more than I had when I joined Tormented. So I was like watching all you guys and what you were doing and little things and because I felt quite inexperienced. So for me, a huge part of going to set and learning from other actors is is what it's all about, you know, because you
And you
realize
also
that,
you up your game, don't you? When
yeah,
you're in a scene with someone who has got a great reputation or is, you know, is very experienced, you think, oh, I'm on the back foot, so I need to bring something else.
yeah. It's like playing tennis, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. That's exactly it. Because I remember when I worked with, so he's become like one of my best friends now, but um, Toby Stevens. When I joined Black Sails, I
Yeah.
really respected him as an actor, and I ended up having all these amazing scenes with him in this great storyline. And he when people say, you know, who's your favorite actor you've worked with, I can never pinpoint one person because I've got so many great experiences. But he's probably the one that I've learned the most off over the
Okay.
years. You know, like just his on-set demeanor, like the way he is to crew and stuff on a set, the way he offers everything to the other actor. You know, he's so generous with his acting. Um, I just thought this guy's got it right. Like this is why he's so good. It's not because he's just amazing at delivering a Hamlet speech, which he is, but it's all the other stuff that goes with it. I think. I
Yeah.
think to be
The
fully
full
rounded,
package.
yeah, you know, like, and it's a respect thing, and like, you know, you do find there's people who have pretty bad reputations. Like you and I know this that they
Hmm.
have um, certain people have reputations which might not do them any favors. And
Yeah.
for me, I think I like the idea that regardless of what I do in front of the camera, that I leave that place and people think I'm a nice guy and that I
Yeah.
treated everyone exactly the same and there was
Yeah.
never any kind of differentiating between that. So yeah.
I think you've 100% achieved that, and I haven't worked with you for 11 years, but you know, like you're just there. You know when you just know someone's doing it because they love it. And I think that's the question that I have actually is actually for the end. But I just want to know, like, what is it that keeps you doing it? Obviously, you're getting
Oh
work, so
man,
that's a great thing. But like, what is the essence of it for you?
oh man, it's so many things. There's something so exhilarating about playing into someone else's mind, you know, like into, or I just get such a kick out of playing other people. And I've always done it. Like I always pretended, like you probably did the same thing when you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
Where you just always pretend or doing impressions of people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see someone on a page that, and you're playing out scenes, and especially when it's like funny scenes or scenes that you can imagine happening that make you laugh and make you cry and you feel something, there's something really powerful about bringing that to life, you know, giving that a heartbeat, giving it, bringing yourself to that role. Like, how you feel in that role? How would you bring Tom Hopper to Luther Hargreaves in Umbrella Academy? You know, what is it about me that I can bring to him?
Mm-hmm.
You know, things like that. I don't know what it is. It's very hard to pinpoint, but it's
Because
just,
also, I would say it's different when I would say the majority of your roster is screen work. So a lot of actors, when they're asked that question, like if I was Graham Norton, I'd be like, you know, what do you like, the film or theatre? Actually, a lot of actors will say it's that immediate reaction. It's that kind of, you know, you can see someone, you're impacting somebody in that
well,
moment.
I would say that's certainly what got me into it was the, because so I came from a bit of a sporty background at school, and this is how I always relate it really is that I loved performing in sport, right? So I loved scoring a try in rugby. I loved scoring a goal at football. I loved that immediate kind of like yes reaction of the team and working together as a team
Yeah.
to achieve that, right? So then that crossed over into theatre that as a team, you are aiming to put a successful performance on for an audience. So
Mm-hmm.
those laughs, when you get a laugh, that immediate response of a laugh, or when you feel that dead of quiet when you know you have an audience in the palm of your hand,
Yeah.
those feelings are very similar to what I got on the sports field. It gives me the same
Yeah.
passion and exhilaration, you know?
And
And
actually, it's the same on a set.
totally,
it's
that's
a
exactly
it's a
it.
real, and no matter if it's 8 people or 800 people that are working on any given scene,
Yeah.
it's if each person wasn't there, it would fall down.
It would, yeah, every cog plays a very important role in that machine because
Yeah.
there are so many there's so many cogs in a film crew, you know, and like you say, if one of them wasn't there, right down to the most basic role,
Yeah.
if they're not there, if they're not passing on that message, then something has gone wrong,
Yeah.
and it kind of just fall apart.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you've experienced this, where like there's a lack of communication on a set. It screams. You're like,
Yeah.
someone needs to just tell that person that, and then everything will be fine.
Yeah.
And that always gets missed.
And you're just waiting. Every second you're waiting, you're watching money just fall down the drain.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
oh my God,
I've
if
never been
someone
more
doesn't come in
aware of
with,
money.
yeah, just opening the bank and pouring it into a
Yeah.
hole. Yeah. So
That'd be
many
great.
people, by the way, so many people are like, oh my God, he's British.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's something I get quite a lot these days
Well, that's
because of
great. That
Luther.
means you're doing it right.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah. When people is a surprise to people, yeah. Because some people saw me like a lot of the things, especially the Americans. You know, they saw me first. A lot of them saw me first in I Feel Pretty, that movie I did with Amy
Yeah,
Schumer,
yeah, yeah.
and then Umbrella Academy. So they're like two American roles. So like, why wouldn't they think? I guess, you know, as long as
Yeah.
I'm not, as long as I'm not doing this shit job.
Why wouldn't
But
they? My accent is so
it's
good.
so good, so on point.
I'm
Um,
just so surprised. Um, so can you? Would it be impossible to pinpoint your favorite project so far?
well, like I say, they all kind of offered different things. I have to say, I have an amazing time on Umbrella Academy because it's just such a fun set. I mean,
Yeah.
and this is because I think it's down to the cast, the energy the cast bring every time, but also I think the showrunners, so our showrunner Steve Blackman, he encourages us to play around. He encourages us to try stuff. You know,
Maybe
give
just
one from the script.
speak a little bit about what a showrunner is and what they do.
Okay, so a showrunner is like the executive producer of a show, and they effectively write the show. Where they have a team of writers, and they write the show. So they're in charge of the episode to episode arc, the whole arc of a whole season, and how a show will play out. And they present that to, say, Netflix, and Netflix approve it. But basically, the day to day, they run the show. They are in charge of the show.
The clues in the
So
title, folks.
it's a show runner, and they also sort of say how they want the set to be run, how they want actors to be, what they are expecting from the actors. So when we all joined the show, Steve Blackman, our showrunner for Umbrella Academy, said, you know, I want you to play around. I want you to try things. I want it to be a very fun set, and I want the crew to feel a part of that.
Yeah.
So we see, you know, when we're goofing around and trying and ad-libbing stuff and doing just trying different things, you know, we have the crew laughing, you know, we can see the crew laughing behind the camera and stuff. And that's what we
amazing. It
encourage.
comes from the top as well, doesn't it? If you've got someone at the top
Absolutely.
who is creating that environment, and in that environment which makes people want to work, then that's
it.
everything.
Yeah. One of Steve's things that he said about show running, one of the first rules he said about show running is it's so important to make everyone on that set feel that they are the most important person to this project.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that everyone feels valued. Because if you have everyone turning, I mean, the thing is as well, you got to remember, we are working very long hours in sometimes really like, I mean, in Toronto, we're working in like -20 some days. So people, the crew are out there all day in crazy cold conditions. And it's important that every single person in that crew feels just as valued as any other person there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they're going to come to work miserable, and no one wants that.
Yeah.
You know, so
not everyone thinks like that. So it's refreshing and it's nice.
Totally. Like I've been on sets where that, I'm sure you have, that have
Mm-hmm.
been like, ugh, yeah, this is not a fun environment. It feels quite, there's like a hierarchy, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But it's great that the show that you're on right now is something that you're talking about as being your favorite.
Yeah, it's certainly from an artistic perspective for me. I mean, there's that and Black Sails. I felt from an artistic perspective as an actor, I got to do things and have got to do things that I'm doing now that are really fulfilling as an actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Black Sails was absolutely that as well. I have to give credit to that because I had an amazing time on that show.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say about Merlin is that I was a much smaller role in Merlin, so artistically, I didn't get that my tank full.
Yeah.
But what I did have was the best time with what became effectively like a brotherhood with
Yeah.
the guys who played the other nights, and um, we were on effectively like a 3.5 year boys' holiday.
Hmm.
You know,
Is it
so
is a group of knights called a brotherhood? What is a
well,
group of knights?
well a knighthood,
Oh wow.
but it became a brotherhood
Nice.
as well.
Nice.
Well, it was an on-screen night. I always say it's an on-screen knighthood, an off-screen brotherhood.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, that's, and you still in touch with them. They're still
Oh
like a
God,
big
yeah,
part of your
yeah,
life. See,
yeah, yeah. They
that's
became
amazing.
very close. And I've worked with a couple of them since on things, and yeah, I mean, I think that's when you know a job was special, right? You know, when
Hmm.
you maintain these friendships
Hmm.
ongoing. You know,
Yeah.
even if you don't speak to each other for a couple of, it was like you and me now, like how we haven't spoken to each other properly in years.
Yeah.
But when you have such a close knit group of
Well, you've
actors,
been
and
through the same thing, haven't you? This is kind of why this show, this like this live thing works, because even
yeah,
though like I interviewed Danny Harmer on my first episode, I'd never worked with her, but you, because of doing something at quite a young age and having that sort of experience, you know,
yeah,
with her and being Tracy Beaker, she was, you know, she was so young, but she had that kind of bonding, grounding experience at quite a young age, and I think that is something that everyone I'm speaking to, weirdly, we can relate on that level because it's a shared experience.
absolutely, that's it. And I think as actors, we'll always have that, won't we? That we can talk about on-set experiences, and especially like when you start young.
Yeah.
Because how old were you when you started?
I was 16 when I got the part, but when we started
Wow.
shooting, I just turned 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean,
But
I
you
was
went to
still
college, didn't you? Didn't you? You went to Rose Bruford?
Rose Bruford College. Yeah. So I
God,
went.
that's
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah. That
I've
was
even
knowledge.
researched that.
Jesus, that's very good. Blimey.
I'm really aware that the time is going to run away from us, and I haven't asked you a single question that people have asked me
Go
to
on.
ask.
Go on.
So,
Crack on.
so Michelle Mendez has asked, what scene from season 2 of Umbrella Academy was the hardest to film?
See, that's tricky because
Sneaky.
I'd be that's sneaky trying to pull out a spoiler. Um, I can't really answer that. But
No,
I've got
fair enough.
I can feel the Netflix
What?
sniper red dot here.
Okay, well then let's refer to series 1.
Series one would probably be the fight scene between Luther and Diego in the pilot episode, because it was a rain scene, and that was a day where it was -20,
Were you in a
and
courtyard?
we were in a courtyard. Yeah,
Yes, I remember it.
this is in Toronto in the middle of the winter, and so yeah, it was -20, and everyone else got like umbrellas, but me and Diego, or David Castaneda, who plays the role, uh, had no umbrellas, and we just had to go toe to toe. So
How ironic is that, by the way, that
what's that?
you had no umbrella?
I know. Well, it also looked really obvious because I was like, everyone else has got an umbrella. Why do me? It's like, what are you going to fight? I'm like,
Surely,
yeah,
when
we
you're in a
don't know we're
show,
going to fight.
like, but you're in a show called Umbrella Academy,
We
you
should
would have thought they could give you an umbrella.
have them just like in a holster,
Yes,
because
exactly.
we should just have umbrellas ready.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that scene, we were there for 12, 13 hours, I guess, in the rain. But the rain had to be colder than the temperature, because so it was like really, really cold rain. Because um, if it was too warm, the rain, then it would steam. So the rain didn't look right. So the rain machine coming down
Oh
was
no.
brutally cold. So I would say, just in terms of logistically, I mean, I slept like a baby that
I
night
bet you
because I'd
did.
just been
Oh
like
my
hammered
God.
with cold rain all day. But I would say, and also the courtyard became muddier and muddier. So like when we're doing this fight scene, and it's quite a physical fight scene, you know, we're like throwing each other around. So like trying to keep our footing was a nightmare because it just became a bog. Um,
God.
so
Did you
yeah,
do
I
it
would.
yourself? The whole thing was it you?
Yeah, yeah. Me and David did the whole thing in the end. Yeah.
Please.
Um, So yeah, it was good fun though, really good fun. Because David, like, he loves getting stuck in as well. So yeah, we had a good time doing it. So yeah, what's so great about doing those fight scenes as well is that when you have a partner that you trust and is really good at what they do, it becomes fun, like fighting each other, because you trust everything that each other's doing. So you'll look after each other, but you'll go hard at the same time. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's the same sort of thing as
That's
like on
fun.
a rugby field or something. It's that same sort of feeling.
Yeah, yeah. With someone to play with.
Someone to play with. It's nice. Tag team partner.
um, can you still hear me? Because I think you're buffering a little bit. You've turned
Oh
into
yeah,
sort of
I
one
can.
pixel.
Oh no, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, and I can sort of see you.
It might be because the
We'll
lighting
see.
is.
We'll see if it catches up. As long as we can still hear you. Tom, fix your Wi-Fi. Come now. There we go. If you stay still, then
Is
that
that
all of the
better?
pixels kind of come back together. Yeah, yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
Next, Carry My Larry. That's a good name. I see you a lot working out on your Instagram. What's your
yeah.
motivation to keep going, and how long does it take you?
How long does it
I think
take
that
me
means
to?
like I guess to work out.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, to answer that first, I work out anywhere between like half an hour and an hour a day, depending on what the kind of workout it is.
Because you've got
If
quite a sophisticated setup at home, haven't you? You've got like bits to use.
Yeah, relatively so. Like I've sort of built it up over the years, really.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I find it's quite, if it's because here's the thing as well is like it becomes part of a lifestyle,
totally.
and I think if it becomes part of your lifestyle and you have a certain amount of kit, you've always got like a tool belt, right, that you can
Hmm.
always access. So if you want to do certain workouts, so that's been really handy for me, especially just well, during lockdown. It's been an
Yeah,
absolute godsend.
because you and
Um,
Laura have been doing videos together, haven't you? Loads
yeah,
of
yeah,
people, literally loads of people are like, I love it when you work out with Laura.
yeah. It's great.
Because
Yeah,
it's great because she does the ones without equipment. If you can't,
yeah. Or
if you
she'll
or if
do
you don't
like a
have it.
modified version.
Yeah,
Yeah, she'll
yeah,
do one. Yeah, which is
yeah.
great because she's also not as quite as hardcore as me in terms of some of the stuff that I do. So she'll be like, "Oh, I'll do this version because that's a bit much for me," or I don't really like doing them like that, so I'll do them like this. And I was like, "Well, that's great because I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there
100%. Yeah.
that will be exactly the same as you." So yeah, so I sort of do the kind of standard version or whatever, and she'll do modified, like you say, without weight or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean
So
to
what's the
keep
motivation? Like I think that's the key. Loads of people are like, how do you get motivated to do it?
yeah, well, it's changed a lot through the years. It used to be, I suppose, to go through the stages. Once upon a time, it was like an aesthetic for what I was doing for my career. Like I felt like I needed to, the sort of roles that I would be going for were
Yeah.
always of a certain physique. So that's one part of it. But then it became about health for me. It became about a lifestyle of wanting to achieve optimal health, and that goes through to the way I eat and the way I live my life now. Because especially the big turning point for me was when I had kids,
Hmm.
and I wanted to make sure that I was always going to be the best version of me for my kids. I wanted to, because they talk about lifespan, right? Everyone talks about lifespan and living the best, longest life. But I always talk about health span. Like I want to be the healthiest I can be for as long as I can be,
Hmm.
so that I'm not, going around on a wooden stick and crutches by the time I'm 70. I'm still running around my grandkids at 70.
And would you say that
And
that's like a better way of looking at it for your mental health as opposed to it being an aesthetic thing?
absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think one thing that I've learned as well is that if health becomes your goal over aesthetic,
Hmm.
then the aesthetic just becomes a byproduct. You don't even think about it anymore. If you're always focusing on like, I just want to be the healthiest, best version of me,
Yeah.
then the aesthetic just kind of comes with it.
Hmm.
So it's yeah, like I say, you stop thinking about the aesthetic and that's really liberating actually.
Hmm.
As soon as you stop thinking, oh man, I'm like, I'd rather be a little bit more ripped, or I'd rather be a bit bigger, and those things. If you let go of those things, because I'm someone who people will be like, oh, you look a bit smaller, or oh, you like put a bit of size, or like they'll question my weight a lot and stuff, or they'll
Wow.
question whether, and you notice that I think it's because, you know, like I do put myself out there as looking a certain way.
Hmm.
So when I change, or I might, because I'm not even aware of it, because I'll just eat what I want to eat that I think, you know, is the healthiest thing for me, and I'll train the way I want to train at that time. So I
Yeah.
might fluctuate in weight a little bit, but sometimes people will be like, "Oh, you look like skinnier," or "Oh, you look like bigger at the minute." Like if people were doing that to the average person, it's kind of like, because I sometimes think like I wouldn't say that to someone.
No. But do you think that's because you have, like you say, you have drawn attention to the fact that you train and you've done various articles in men's health magazines and you're quite vocal about it, and
Yeah,
so I guess you've sort of made it okay for people
totally.
to talk
Like,
to you about it like that.
absolutely. Like I fully think, you know, that's, I don't have a problem with that, because
Yeah.
in a way, I've asked for it in a way, because I've put myself out there in a certain way. But I suppose the one thing that the one thing that would make me think, oh God, that's not a nice prospect. If someone were like, "Whoa, you've let yourself go a bit," that would be like, "Oh, have I?" Because
Yeah.
like I say, my goal is always to be healthy. So if I started to look unhealthy and started to look, that would be I would think, right, I've got to change something here.
Yeah.
But it's all about how you feel. That's the big thing for me with training. And the reason to train is to feel better, to feel good. Like the reason I do these workouts for people and put them out there is because I truly believe that moving and being more active is the thing, or one of the main factors that creates better well-being. Like, people talk about being tired all the time, and 9 times out of 10, if you go out and move, it will give you energy.
Yeah, it's so weird. I didn't believe that. I was always watching Joe Wicks, the body coach, going on
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
he just went, he was like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm going to go do a workout. And you're like, what?
yeah.
Why?
It's
And then
totally
he's
true.
right. It's totally
Yeah,
right. Um,
it's all like the endorphins and stuff.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's so weird that actually doing a workout, you end up feeling better.
Yeah,
Who would have thought
yeah,
it?
yeah. But it's
Um,
really, it's liberating. It really is.
what's, I'm just trying to find some questions because we're running out of time. What's your skincare routine? That's from Steph PT.
Steph PT. My skincare routine is pretty minimal these days. For my face, I
Oh,
have.
shut up.
Well, you know what I do. You know what my
I've
secret?
just got
If
this
I have.
perfect skin and I don't do anything except soap and water.
Well, actually, here's the thing: cold showers.
Oh, Wim Hof.
Yeah, cold showers is an absolute game changer, because there's what it does. It releases like these like shock proteins, like, so heat shock proteins or cold. So it's
Yeah.
the opposite of that. And ever since I started doing cold showers, I never use a face wash, and I never get any issues. Like, it's always like stays clear. It's mad.
Do you
Cold
have
showers.
do you have a lot of makeup in Umbrella Academy?
Minimal. I always
Yeah,
like
because
going
it's
minimal, because
I
I don't
guess it's
like having
mainly
lots of
like
stuff on my
here
face.
down.
Pretty.
Not makeup, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so.
CGI.
Yeah, when I have the prosthetics on, uh, like, that can be quite taxing on the neck, because
Yeah.
it blends up into the neck. And the other time I've had, the only time I've used a lot of like skincare stuff was when on Black Sails, I had a whole like beat up makeup. Like, my whole face was like beat up
Yeah.
for most of the season, and my God, I looked like I'd aged about 20 years by the end of it.
Is it because they kept using the alcohol to like
Yeah, so
make
like
the
rub it off.
bruising? Yeah,
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 and they like scrape it off at the end of each day.
yeah.
And there's a picture of me. We shot that down in Cape Town, and the last week I climbed Table Mountain with my mate, and there's a picture of me and him at the top. And honestly, I look like so swollen in the face from the amount that I just weathered. I was like, oh
Oh
my God.
no, who is
Yeah.
that guy?
And honestly, I'm unrecognizable. I have to send you the photo, because you'll be like, oh my
Oh
God.
my god, he's 100 years old.
Yeah, and I don't look so old, like really
Oh
weathered.
no.
Yeah.
While we're talking about that, actually, Skinforia X has
Mm.
asked, what does it feel like wearing? She's called it the gorilla body. Not
Mm.
sure if that's the technical term, but what does
I
it
guess it is.
feel like?
It feels, you know what? It really makes me feel like Luther should feel.
Great.
Luther is not comfortable in his body, and I'm definitely not comfortable in that suit.
Perfect.
So what's great is like Luther should feel like a small man in a giant body. Like he's quite, he's insecure, he's quite sensitive, all those things, and he's dealing with a lot inside his head, and it should feel like he's got this kind of burden all the time, because a lot of his
Perfect.
it's really good, honestly. It works. And I thought initially when I first tried it on, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be like killer for an entire season of TV doing this. But as soon as I started wearing it as Luther, I was like, oh god, this is him. Like every time I put it on, it's like it felt like I was putting on Luther, So I actually it feels pretty good for the character.
Great. I mean, yeah, I love it. Gorilla body.
Body, yeah.
Dane Starbo, are you a Leicester City fan?
Yes, well, I'm more of a Leicester Tigers. I do follow football, like I'm into my football, but I'm more of a Leicester Tigers fan.
Does anyone know who the Leicester Tigers are?
So if you don't know, shame on you.
Of course I do.
You do. And they're we're having a bit of a struggle this season, but halfway through the season, it's a weird time at the moment. We've kind of like stopped our way through, but yes, Leicester Tigers would be my Leicester team of choice. But I absolutely follow Leicester City. Yeah.
Chana Lawless wants to know, how was it being burned by dragons?
Pretty good. I mean, the stunt guy covered a lot of that, the actual burning part. But no, it was great. It was very cool. That whole sequence, I was delighted with how that whole sequence turned out. Actually, in the end. Because they gave it quite a nice amount of weight, things like that in those kind of shows, they could just like quickly pass over them like they're nothing, but they gave it a really nice moment, and I was really pleased, how it turned out. But it was a lot of fun to shoot. I mean, we were just looking at a rock, and then the first AD went, right, see that rock up there, a little bit to the left of that flag, that's a dragon. And I went, got it.
Cool.
We'll look there.
Cool.
Thank you.
I see. You must, like you were saying earlier, that you don't watch stuff. You've obviously seen that, so then you must be looking back and going, "Oh my god, that's me when I'm now with the dragon." Like I've never done things that have been visual effects to that extent, so that must be amazing. Yeah,
I did want to watch that because it was, but I didn't watch it when it first came out. I watched it. We recorded it on Sky Atlantic over here, and it came out, and what was really interesting is there was a bit of a reaction in terms of the industry. Like I got a couple of, that's what's so crazy about Game of Thrones. It's like, it's such an amazing platform for actors, and it's, every producer in LA is watching it, in Hollywood is watching it. And I, it was great because I had like this influx of interest for roles, and that's kind of how Umbrella Academy happened, really. Wow. And Steve Blackman saw me on that, and I think saw a guy with a small head and a big body, and went, he could play Luther.
Perfect.
That guy.
No.
But yeah, so it kind of the thing happened, like the kind of reaction happened, and I got all this stuff going on. I thought, I'm just going to watch the scenes to see what actually I'm, talking about.
See how good I am.
Well, also is like, people were asking me when I was taking these meetings afterwards. People were already asking me about the scenes. I was like, I really should watch these to know what it actually turned out like. But yeah, when I watched it, I was like, oh my god, this is like completely different than just staring at a rock. This is.
I don't know why they didn't just keep the staring at the rock in there.
I liked the rock. The rock was like pretty intimidating at the time.
Maybe they just thought the acting of the staring at the rock needed a bit of beefing up.
I think so.
Something a bit extra.
A little burst of steroids.
Yeah.
Turns out to be a dragon. But no, it was good. I thought the scene was it was quite impressive. Yeah.
Quite impressive.
Yeah.
Quote of the day: quite impressive.
Quite impressive, wasn't it?
Quite impressive.
Looked alright.
I am going to ask you one more question, and it's going to be from Tanja Mardini. What's your favourite character in Skins?
Oh, Michelle. Please.
Thank you. I don't think you can say that though, because I'm here. Because I am Michelle from Skins. Get it? Get it?
Oh yeah. I liked
So anyone else?
well, I only really watched your seasons,
Alts.
so I've got to remember the names now. I liked the oh God, what's the guy with the glasses? What was his name?
Sid.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. Everyone says Sid. I actually I've been asked this obviously so many times, but I loved Chris, Joe Dempsey. Did you ever cross
Oh
paths
my
with him on?
God, yeah, he was brilliant.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
completely forgot. Yeah, yeah, he's great.
For me, that's the
Yeah,
winning character from
that's
Skins.
very true. Yeah, he was particularly brilliant, actually.
So we have about 5 minutes
Okay,
before Instagram is going to be like, no,
get
you
on.
can't. Can you see the questions? Can you see things coming in? If anyone's got anything to say, anything nice, this
What,
is my house. Be
what
nice. Ask questions because we've got a little bit of time left. So if there's any, Joe Dempsey
uh,
was in the Merlin episode. Oh, I didn't know
oh,
that Joe
that's
Dempsey
right.
was
Yeah,
in
he
Merlin.
was. But he was in it before I was in it, so I never crossed paths with him.
But did you ever cross paths in Game of Thrones?
No, no, we didn't.
What?
So that's two shows we've been in at different
Wow,
times. Yeah.
that's so
Um,
weird. Everyone, I mean, this Merlin thing is crazy. Like, I've got loads of questions here that you actually already answered, so I've left them out. But
oh right.
so many people just absolutely loved Merlin.
Yeah, and you know what? It's still kind of growing as well, Merlin. Like there's still a fan base that kind of gets resurgence every now and again.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, do we really watch our death scenes from Tormented?
Do you know
No,
what? My death scene in Tormented used to be the end of my show reel. So
oh,
everyone, this is going to be
it's a very final end to a show reel.
right. So if you haven't seen it, we both get head injuries, and my head gets chopped off.
Oh yeah, that's
Spoiler
right.
alert.
I get a Earthlocker release date. That's a good one. So Earthlocker is the podcast that myself and Robert Sheehan have done.
Ah,
We've been shooting it for quite a while now, and
shooting a podcast.
yeah, so we've got like a little studio and stuff, like similar to your setup, and yeah, it's very nice. It's a very similar thing.
Does your setup have a jar of moldy mushrooms?
Oh no. Well,
Well,
maybe we should have one. That's very Earthlocker.
You definitely need one. That was my lockdown project. I I thought we were going to never be able to go to the shops again, so I dried loads of mushrooms, and I definitely did it wrong because now they're just like a pile of dust.
Just a pile. Oh, they're just dust now.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. You needed to be there, but it's okay. We're missing about 100, like 1,000 questions. The last one was the tormented deaths. So if I can try and get right, quick fire, ready? Have you ever thought about doing a healthy eating and lifestyle book with Laura?
Yes, yeah. I'm actually in the middle of writing one.
Wow!
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
God, I love that.
Yeah, you got an exclusive.
Little exclusive.
Yeah.
Earthlocker release date. Character. Tom, will you and Emmy do a show together? I would watch your coffee clatch.
Oh, a chat show.
Ah, yes.
So, yes, that would be fun. Actually, me and Emmy have a good bants.
Good stuff. Love you and Merlin. Literally watching Merlin right now.
Oh yeah, some people literally watch it on loop. That show, they like having because it's like nice, easy watching, and like you can just it's like it's good family viewing. You know, it's like just easy Saturday night family viewing. I want to know if you were happy with Billy's fate in Black Sails. He ended up on an island looking a little bit worse for wear, bless him.
Had he been in South Africa shooting for a long time, and then did he end up on Table Mountain?
Yeah, I did end up. I ended up on Table Mountain looking like a haggard old mess.
So maybe that was the end that he could.
Yeah, that was Billy's fate.
Does that mean that he might come back? Maybe he gets off the island.
Billy Bones ends up being an old drunk in Treasure at the beginning of the book Treasure Island.
Oh yes.
So yeah, he would effectively because he dies quite early on in Treasure Island. Spoiler alert for those who haven't watched Treasure Island. Yeah, it's is there a particular show? Is there a particular show? Is there a particular show film that is your ultimate dream to act on? Ooh, big question,
Ooh.
that one.
For me, it would be a period drama. Just say.
Would it?
Yeah.
I'd love to. A western would be mine. I think. A good
Oh,
western.
interesting. Weirdly,
Like cowboy.
both are kind of period.
Period. Yeah.
Just give me a bonnet and a bustle, and I'm great.
Happy. Yeah.
No one will do that though. I've not been in a period drama yet.
Is there something for girls, like actresses, there's something appealing about doing a job because of the outfits, because there's certainly because certain periods.
I feel like the outfit I just described is a bit like you in the gorilla suit. I don't think it's not going to be a fun job, is it?
It's not going to feel good.
No,
but like I remember,
not.
like Laura saying this to me, like going, "Oh my god, it'd be amazing to do that." I mean, the dresses. Oh my god, it was so good to wear the dresses.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like, oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, of course it is. It's dressing up. It's it's putting on pretty dresses, and you can be a 3-year-old again. I mean, hugely gender stereotyping right now, but
But that was like us with when we played pirates in Black Sails. It was like we just wanted to play pirates, like little boys with swords.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's it. Like, yeah. Okay, probably I'm gonna have to say goodbye to you and then do a little Tom in a corset and bustle. Well, maybe could happen. Could happen. That could be another exclusive. Tom, it's been such a pleasure to talk to you on the show. Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a delight.
It's I maybe should come on your podcast now.
Yeah,
we'll get you my mushrooms.
Bring the mushrooms. You're not
sure
welcome
Rob
without
appreciate them.
We need them.
Okay.
Once we should get, because we've got we're gonna start doing another like sort of season of it. So we're doing like them in seasons.
Okay.
And then we'll get you. Hopefully, lockdown will be over, and we can get you in the studio, and we can have a good old chin whack.
How can people watch and listen, and where do they
go? They will be watching. They'll be able to watch it. We're directing a lot of traffic to the website, the Earth Locker website, but they'll be able to also get a bunch of stuff on YouTube and anywhere where you get your podcasts from. So the audio will be on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those, and then you can watch the full episodes on the website or on bits on YouTube.
Excellent.
So it'll all be going out. So follow the Earth Locker on Instagram and you get all the updates. Perfect.
And I'm going to save this video. So if you didn't get your question answered, I'm sorry. Obviously this is more of a catch up than it was an interview. If Tom, you don't mind, maybe you can answer some of the questions below when I upload the final thing.
Absolutely, I can do that. Shoot some questions and I will answer.
Perfect. Well, have a lovely rest of your evening. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure. It's getting very dark here on my end, isn't it?
I know. It's the nights are drawing in.
You're a pro and you've got your studio lamps and stuff.
It's okay. We can all learn.
Such an amateur.
Nice to speak to you.
Lots of love. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Has he gone? Am I still here? I should still be here. If I'm still here, then there's some serious buffering going on. Well, I'm tempted to give you a few spoilers about my guest next week. Oh, it's somebody that lots of people have been waiting for. Let's just put it that way. I think that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to announce who it is on Friday, and for those of you wondering, I'm going to be with Nadine Baggett tomorrow at the same time. So again, DM me, just get in touch, suggestions for guests. It's been lovely to have you, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.